One day had Twilight to leave Ponyville for about a week. She had to attend a royal meeting in Saudi Arabia, so she had to ask Starlight if she can look after both the School of Friendship and the castle while she's gone. And Starlight had no problem to look after both of them at the same time. And Spike had asked Twilight if he could stay behind so that he can actually help her if she needed any extra help. And Twilight said there was no problem with. So, and Starlight actually told Spike that she was really gratitude that he chose to stay behind. But it was another reason that he did stay behind as well, is because that he and Rarity were going to celebrate their 2 years anniversary as a couple. And that was another reason which Twilight completely understand. But this particular morning, just a day after Twilight had left, Starlight was up early in the morning. She was in the kitchen eating her breakfast when she heard a knock on the door. She opened it, and she saw it was Derpy. "Morning, Derpy." "Morning, Starlight. Here's the mail. Thanks." "Oh, I see Twilight is in here?" "No, she's out of town for about a week. She is at a royal meeting in Saudi Arabia." "Oh, so you're taking care of this castle by yourself?" No, actually, Spike is also helping with some things, but it wouldn't be much that of a problem. I mean, I've been taking care of this myself before." "Oh, okay. Is there anything else?" No, that was all. And, yeah, well, I had to go. The mail doesn't deliver itself," she said with a smile. "That's true. See you later, Derpy." "See ya," said Derpy when she left. Starlight went back in the kitchen, and there was only mostly commercial mail, like coupons and all that, and of course the morning newspaper. She read the newspaper before she was heading off to the School of Friendship. And at the school, she actually encountered Fluttershy, Pinky, and Applejack. They were in the hallway just talking about any upcoming classes that week. And Applejack saw Starlight and she asked, "So, how is the castle by yourself?" "Well, except for Spike." "You know, it's going well. It's kind of peaceful though. I mean, otherwise it's just me, Twilight, Spike, who lives in the castle. So, just 3 individuals. It kind of feels, empty." "Yeah, pretty much," said Starlight with a big smile. "Well, I'm head off to the castle, to the head mayor office. And of course, if anybody wants to help, just let me know." "Sure, we will do," said Applejack. Late in the afternoon, after the school was over for the day, Starlight was still at the school to taking care of some of the final documentations have been taken care of. Afterwards, she left the school, and she actually felt a bit hungry. And since it was still early afternoon, around 2 p.m., she decided to go to the small cafe nearby to grab something to eat. Of a random chance, she actually encountered Derpy, who was waiting for her order to be served. "Oh, hey, Starlight, over here." "Oh, Derpy. I mean, but you also that we were encountered the same day." "Well, I mean, we live in a small town. Yeah, that's a good point, but hey, you wanna sit down with me to have something to eat?" "Yeah, I don't mind. I don't have any other plans to do so, and I was hungry myself." "Let me guess, you're ordering a muffin?" "You know it." "Huh. What flavor?" "Apple?" "No, banana. Banana muffin." Yeah, there was something new. I probably had tried almost any kind of muffins these days, but I only heard that the banana muffins is supposed to be good, but I never had the opportunity to actually try it. "Well, I mean, I know that you usually bake with your dollar dinky." "Yeah, but We never came to that so far, but I'm actually glad that we're going to try it. So what you're gonna order? I'm not so sure. Maybe just a milkshake or something? Oh, I would recommend the strawberry milkshake. Oh, is it that good? Oh, it's just so good. You will like it. I promise. So Starlight ordered a strawberry milkshake, and she was right. It was so delicious. You know, we probably should do this more often. Do what? You know, spend time. Just, you know, you and me, perhaps Dinky sometimes, just get to know each other a bit better. Hmm. Yeah, that would not be a bad idea, said Derpy. But just, you know, my work as a male pony is a lot of time consuming, and sometimes I have to work all day, and I probably don't have much, you know, any spare time or free time in the afternoon, or sometimes in the weekends. Yeah, that's understandable. But you don't have any day off, do you? Well, I do have a day off maybe like 2 times in a week, but other than that, I just had to be working all day. Oh, well, when do you have your day off? Hmm, this Friday actually. So, how about how about you and me and perhaps Dinky do something together? You know, for fun. That's a great idea," said Derpy with a smile. So they decided to meet at the park to have a picnic together. When Starlight returned back to the castle, Spike was still not even had returned home yet. But as she was sitting in the library, she was actually only thinking of one single thing: Derpy. For the past year or so, Starlight had actually been in love with Derpy Hooves. She is very impressed how much she dedicated of her work as a male pony, but also being a single parent, raising her only daughter Dinky by herself, even though she had friends to help her, but mostly by herself. Since Dinky's father had passed away some about a year after Dinky was born, so has always been a lot of challenges. And that was the one thing that admires to Starlight about Derpy. And Derpy is a very unique pony, she said to herself. Not because of her unusual eyes, but of her personality. And she just hoped that maybe one day that she could confess her true feelings about to Derpy. But she doesn't know if Derpy likes mares or just stallions, or if she's even interested in any pony like that. Or if she would even date Starlight at all, because she didn't know if that was going to damage or somehow ruin their friendship. But Starlight was hoping to one day to be able to tell Derpy how she feels. And what she didn't know, that day actually will come soon enough. That same Friday, right after the school was over, Starlight went to the winter park to meet up with Derpy and Dinky. Dinky was always happy to see Starlight because she always loved to spend time with her. They went to the park, deeper in, just sat down and just started enjoying their picnic. Dinky wanted to know more about Starlight's magical ability, if she knows any strong spells or anything. Sometimes it happens that Starlight do in fact teaching Dinky some simple spells and others. Often Dinky had often asked if she can learn her some more advanced spells, like duplication spells or anything, which something that Starlight refused for a good reason. She is saying that even though that Dinky is a foal, still a filly, she still has potential to learn more about advanced spells eventually, but she is way too young for that type of spells. Because even a slightest difference of performing a spell could be very much dangerous. And, of course, Derpy was told about it from Starlight, and she agreed. She cannot do any such dangerous spells, but doing levitation spells, maybe teleportation spells or something like that, or maybe invisible spells, something like that, more simple ones, maybe, but not any more advanced, not until she is old enough. It's a risk that she could damage something in the dial or maybe injure herself. But while Derpy and Starlight was just talking together while Dinky was away playing some with her friends, Derpy asked Starlight, "So, Starlight, since you've been living here now in Ponyville for a while now." "Yeah, it is. Is there any pony that you like here?" That question took a little bit off guard. Uh, what do you mean? I mean, I just, you're beautiful, you're honest, you're friendly, and despite us seeing you around the town, I never seen you with any stallion, so is there any pony that you are, have a crush on? That question itself made Starlight blushing, which Derpy's like, "Oh, so there is some pony. Who is it?" she said, but smiled and tried to teasing her. "Well, there is one, but I don't know if you actually want to hear this." "Oh, come on, Starlight. You're my friend, and you can tell me anything." Well, at first, Starlight tried maybe to come up with an excuse that she had to go, or maybe lie who it was, or simply tell the truth. In the end, she decided to tell the truth. When she said that, Derpy went silent. She looked at Derpy, and Derpy was still blushing a lot, and so Starlight said that she had to go because she had to do something back at the castle. And she just left before Derpy could say anything. When Dinky came back, she asked her mom where Starlight went. Derpy said that she just went home back to the castle, and for the next few days, Starlight didn't barely leave the castle much at all. And if it was the mail, she always checked if it was Derpy or someone else. If it was Derpy, she just pretended that she wasn't inside, so Derpy usually left the mail outside the door, and after that Derpy had left, she opened the door quickly and take it. But after only about 3 days, she had to go outside to do some shopping at the market for some food. Normally she would have asked Spike for help, but he was in the castle at the moment, and this was in the early noon, and she knew that Spike probably wouldn't be back until the next few hours. And since she had other things to take care of, she would have eventually do it herself. So she took the courage, just left the castle and went to the market. And she had no problem at the market though. She ran into some other friends there but on her way back to the castle, she eventually heard a voice behind her. "Oh, there you are, Starlight. I wondered you had been all this time." She turned around and it was actually Derpy. And on her day, it was actually on one of Derpy's day off. "Oh, I didn't see you there. So, do you need anything?" "Well, is this something I want to talk to you about?" "Oh, can we perhaps go back to the castle and talk?" Um, yeah, we can do that," said Starlight. She was really quite nervous, actually. But they went to the castle without a problem. She made some tea for both of them, and they sat down in the library. "You see, the thing I want to talk to you about, after you told me about your feelings, as you confessed to me, yeah, sorry about that, are you actually really in love with me?" And Derpy looked at her curiously. "Yeah, it's true. I am." "Oh, I mean, I can't have an honest feeling though, but But I understand if you don't like me the same way back, Derpy. What? Why would you say that? I mean, why do you think I wouldn't? Wait, you do? Yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time together. Well, maybe not that much, but the time we spend and how to see you interacting with Dinky and how you're always helping me and others in if need always make me spark to interest in you. I I didn't know that. Well, I mean, it's true. And I want to ask you something. Yeah? How would you like to go out with me? Wait, for seriously? For real? Yeah. Apparently, Dink Derpy actually had a small crush on Starlight for about a while now, and she has always been too busy with her work and raising her daughter Dinky, so she would haven't given much opportunity to be able to confess her feelings for Starlight. But now she had it, and Starlight herself was not prepared for anything like that. But Starlight said yes, she would like to go out with her. So they decided to go to this cafe or this restaurant in town the same day. And what about Dinky? No problem. I can have Pinky look after her. Oh, yeah, she can probably do that. So they went to this restaurant the same evening, and at first it felt a little awkward for Starlight. After all, this was her very first date ever in a long time. And but after a while, though, only maybe just half an hour, they had no problem. They talk about their common interests, what they like to do, and all that stuff. And eventually, it felt normal. And the rest of that evening, they all had just a great time, actually. Even from that day itself, Derpy and Starlight started being officially dating. And when Twilight came back after her royal meeting in Central Arabia, to her astonishment after what Spike told her about Starlight, she was just happy to see that Starlight had found some pony to be with. She could see that she was always focused on her duty as a help at the school, at the castle, and others, but never put much effort on herself in established any romantic relationship. She has always assumed that she and Sunburst had been in a long distance relationship, but it turned out they were just that, friends, and nothing else. And even when Dinky, when she found out about Starlight and Derpy was dating, she was overjoyed. She was like, "Oh, so you're going to be my second mom?" And was Derpy like, "Dinky, what are you saying? What? I mean, I like her as my second mom. Wouldn't she be?" Both Starlight and Derpy looked at each other with a blushing face, and they realized, well, maybe if they were that quite serious. But Starlight said, "You know, Dinky, it's maybe possibility, but me and your mom has always just started dating, and people don't want to rush into any such, marriage and all that. But only time can tell. But And then she looked at Derpy with a smile. "I wouldn't have mind to being your second mom if it would come to that." And Dinky was like, "Yay! I will have a second mom soon." She jumped up and down with joy. But Derpy just rolled her eyes and said, "Dinky," Miss Starlight said, "it's fine. Don't worry about it." "Are you sure?" "Positive." And their relationship only continued to grow stronger for each single day. Even when the winter arrived at Ponyville, it was a lot more busier season for Derpy. She had to deliver a lot of mail, and sometimes she wasn't even back in town for the next couple of days. It depended on where she was going. And sometimes She could have been gone for maybe just 1 or 2 days, and often she told Dinky to just go to the castle and Starlight can look after her if all the others couldn't. Which Starlight and Twilight had no problem with. After all, Starlight started seeing Dinky as her second daughter in the family. But then, just shortly after New Year's Eve, an accident happened. Derpy was out for the delivery of mail in a few towns next Hanover, and she was supposed to be back within 2 days or so. Or at least one day, it is supposedly at most. But it could be in 2 days. But after just one day that she was originally supposed to be back, she didn't. So Derpy or Dinky was still at the castle looked after by Starlight. But after 3 days, and no sign of Derpy had even returned, Starlight started getting a bit worried. So she wanted to go out and look for her. But Twilight said it's probably not a good idea because she was heard there's going to be a storm in the area soon. But Starlight, she didn't care. She couldn't just stand there to see her girlfriend being suffering, being missing, and not only to be allowing Dinky to be an orphan. So, that same evening, when the others had went to bed, Starlight sneaked out of the castle and left Ponyville. Because she knew exactly which direction that Derpy was supposed to be going, because she told her to which city or which town she was going to. So she went there. She arrived to town and she arrived to the mail station, and they told her at the post office that Derpy did leave town 2 days ago, and she would have been supposed to be returned back by the second day. But nothing. So, Starlight decided just to leave and follow the same path back to Ponyville. But on her way, she decided to take a different direction. She started to yell out for Derpy, and after a while, she didn't even have any response. She was almost getting up or getting to continue another path, but she decided to continue to walk the same way that she was walking. And then she saw it. Derpy, on the ground, unconscious. She turned out that she had flown right into a tree, and the tree, well, she was knocked out unconscious off the tree branch. And she tried to shake her a little bit to just wake her, but no reaction. So Starlight put her on her back, and she ran all the way back to the nearest town because she was more closer to that one in Ponyville. And there, she was getting the treatment that Derpy needed. Luckily though, it was just a minor concussion and nothing serious. Derpy was just gratitude that Starlight came to look for her. She was just very happy that also that. But she was a bit worried about Dinky. But Starlight told her, don't worry, she is back in Ponyville and Spike and Twilight are looking after her. Derpy asked her, do they know you were actually here? No, I actually left middle of the night. What? Are you crazy? I mean, I did leave a note behind, so they were at least being aware. Oh. And after that Derpy had made some recover from her after her accident, she was taken back to Ponyville, and let us say that Dinky was very excited and happy to see her mom was back, and even after what happened to her, she was even more happier. And after that, only a few days after, even though Derpy Starlight was a little bit scolded by Twilight by doing that in the middle of the night, but she understood that she did it all love. And a few days after she had returned back with Derpy, Starlight went to see Derpy and she actually proposed. They had even been together for just 1 year. But Starlight knew she was the right pony that she wanted to be with. And Derpy didn't hesitate to say yes, because she did it with a big yes and a crying. They decided to have their wedding in the summer. And Derpy told this to Dinky when she woke up the next day, and let's say, she was over the moon of joy. She's like, finally, I'm gonna have two moms! She's yelled out, and eventually every pony in town knew about this. But they were just happy for both Derpy and Starlight. But most of all, for Derpy. Now, she won't be able to just raising her daughter alone. That now she will have her new partner in life that will help her to raise Dinky. In the summer, Starlight had asked Twilight to perform the ceremony, which she did with gratitude. She had asked Fluttershy to be her bridesmaid of honor, and Derpy had asked Applejack to be her maid of honor, which she gratitude said accepted. Of course, Dinky was chosen to be the flower girl. And to see both Derpy and Starlight so happy together, all the guests couldn't see how happy they were together when they were dancing together. Dinky, though, she was just overjoyed to have a new mom in her life. Shortly afterwards, they actually went to Crystal Empire for 2 whole weeks as their honeymoon. And while they were gone, Twilight took the opportunity to look after Dinky, which she was really actually happy to do. And both Derpy and Starlight just had a great time on their honeymoon together. To enjoy their honeymoon in a Crystal Empire was the most amazing time for both. To have romantic dinners, to watching the sunset together, it was just perfect. And after they'd been married for 3 years, Derpy and Starlight wanted to start a family of their own. And eventually, they asked Twilight for help. She was really happy to help them. So, Starlight chose to be pregnant first with a baby. And they eventually learned that Starlight was pregnant, and they were expecting a baby daughter. And then the day came where the daughter was born. They named the daughter Fallen Star. Fallen Star was very shy around new ponies, as she was just a filly. But she was very talented in magic, like her mom herself. But it was one of the things that she wanted to be when she was older. That was a teacher. She wanted to be a teacher in magic. And with the help of her aunt Twilight, when she was old enough, she was actually hired as a magic teacher at the School of Friendship. She was actually quite excited to be able to do that. And at one point, she actually even got married to a stallion from Baltimore who moved to Ponyville. They even got married after being dating for about 2 years, and eventually have 2 daughters of their own. 3 years later, they had another daughter, which Derpy had, and her name was Night Rose. Night Rose was really outgoing as a filly. She loved flying around with her mom and her older sister, Tinky, which Starlight legally adopted along with Derpy. And another thing about Night Rose, she loved to play buckball. In fact, her dream was to be a buckball player. So during her childhood, she often played games with her friends at buckball, and even joined the Ponyville buckball team for a short time before she actually decided to join the newly teamed of Baltimore. She was actually hired right away since she had some experience when it comes to buckball playing. And there, she actually fell in love with another player. And they even got married after being dating for about 3 years and have 2 daughters of their own. 3 years later, Starlight had twin daughters. One was named Ruby Prism. Ruby Prism was like her mother, strong in magic, talent, and even though she actually inherited her mom Derpy's eyes, but she had a great passion to magic. But another thing that she also shared the most passion was baking. She loved to be baking with her mom Derpy, and of course with her aunt Pinkie Pie. In fact, when she was old enough, she started working as a part-time job at the Sugar Cube Corner, and when she was older, she was officially hired as a full-time employee at Sugar Cube Corner. She was really excited for that. She was really happy to have fulfilled her dream to be a baker one day. And eventually, she did fall in love with another stallion from Ponyville, and they even got married after being dating for about 3 years. And they had one son and one daughter together. Her second twin daughter was named Blossoming Iris, and she loved flowers as a filly. She even helped around to take care of the family garden when she had the time for it. And in fact, when she was older, she actually took a part-time job at Rose Luck's flower shop in Ponyville. She loved to help around there, and Rose Luck had told her when she was older, she would be guaranteed as a full-time employee at the flower shop. When she was 18, she was fully hired as a full-time employee at the flower shop, and she couldn't be happier about it. She was actually so happy, and even the customers loved her for her smile, her true friendly personality. And even at one point, she even got married with a stallion that she did meet in town. And they even got married after being dating for about 4 years. And eventually, they have 2 daughters and 2 sons together. Derpy has always been felt so happy to have so many good friends. But eventually, that she would develop feelings for one of her friends, Starlight Glimmer. She was just really happy about it. And in fact, she was just happy that Starlight even confessed her own feelings for her, which, in her mind, she was not prepared for Starlight to like her the same way back. Even Starlight, if she never actually had confessed her feelings for Derpy, she may not have found her true joy and her true happiness with Derpy. And even not only that, she was just happy that Derpy confessed her feelings too. And if neither of them had even confessed their feelings, they wouldn't have found their true love. And so Derpy and Starlight are just happy to have their family together. Both were actually happy to have 4 children together, even though Starlight to be happy to have adopted Dinky. And both were just also happy to have 10 grandchildren of their own. And this is how Starlight Glimmer and Derpy Hooves found their true love, got a big family together. The end.